from the internet, it's the BTB Internet Talk Show. Special guests, Pandemonium, Dean Martin. If you've got the internet, you get a talk show. Here's your host, Mr. BTB himself, Scott Curtis.
Hello, everybody. I did not have theme music for this, so I thought I'd use my talk show theme music because I like it so much. We are back for round 2 of the BTB Virtual Comedy Contest, in which we have 7 comics competing to go on to the final round, where number 1 wins $100, 2 wins 50, and 3 wins 25, and I interview all of them on a podcast episode where we talk about their comedy and cool stuff like that. The comics will actually be grading themselves on 3 criteria. You don't need to know the criteria because they're grading themselves, but they are actually going to do that. And we're going to have a couple winners. The 2 high scorers come out of this to go to the finals on October 5th, and that will be judged by real comics, not me. I am never a judge. I'm always just a spectator, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some great comics here. We had some great ones in the first one, and we got some great ones coming up on the 21st and the third one. So this is going to be a lot of fun for me, but I would like to bring up my host right now. It's Michael Bank. How you doing, Michael?
Good. It's great to be back. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Michael is the funniest comedian to come out of Portage, Indiana, and perform sometimes in Crown Point, Indiana.
I think I've been there a time or two.
Boy, we got people already commenting. That's great. So, Michael, are you stoked for tonight?
Oh, I'm so excited to be back, and I look up to all these comedians. I can't believe I'm on a show with them. I'm not in the competition, which I'm lucky because I don't even know if I'd be able to hang with them.
Week 1 was pretty nuts, wasn't it?
It was incredible.
I mean, it was good stuff. I actually had to watch it back because I had so many technical issues, but I watched it back and it was great. I'm just the only thing I like about this pandemic is the fact that I get to meet people like who we have on the show and other comics from around the world. It's really neat to be able to meet them, at least virtually. And I've been in Zoom rooms with quite a few of the people that have been on this show, the last show, and the next show. So it's really cool to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what's been going on in the virtual world during all this.
Yeah, and you're doing some great comedy all over the place too. I see your name coming up all over.
Yeah, we're getting some good opportunities here in Indiana because we care way less about this pandemic than most places that are safe do. So there's plenty of opportunities coming up now.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and bring out our comics and get started on this. First, we've got Joel Brill, Ethan Feldman, Carmiya, Kacie Hacket, Erin Patrick, Chris Wright, and last but not least, Ralph Anthony. Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
Hey. All right.
Great. Are you all stoked to perform tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm totally stoked not to have sound issues, so I'm just very happy about this. So what we're going to do, it's 5 minutes per comedian per set, and if you go to when you get to 4 minutes, you're going to hear this, and when you go way over 5 minutes, you'll hear this again, and then we'll be done, or you'll be done. Michael is going to announce everybody. I'll have a couple words with you at the end, and then the comics will actually be grading each other, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Michael so I can get my stuff ready. Michael, it's all you, buddy.
Hey, everybody, center stage. Woo! Okay, we're staying on this screen. Okay, in the little panel. Scott, did you want me to do a set or just roll right into the first comedian?
No, go. Do your set. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Hey, there we are. Hey, everybody. Again, I'm not in the competition, so don't look at me with such a critical eye. I'm just going to try and get the ball rolling here. And also, sorry if I sound sick. I don't have COVID. It's just my allergies. I just have inferior genetics, and nobody should mate with me. So yeah, don't worry. And even if I did have COVID, this is what the virtual mic is for. So, but yeah, I mean, I like doing comedy a lot better than my day job, even though they're very similar. You know, like everybody's judging me, not getting paid enough. And I shotgunned a beer before I started. My day job is an engineer. I like being an engineer, but I'm not good at the things that engineers are supposed to be good at, you know, like math or science. But I am good at making girls feel uncomfortable. Nobody can tell I'm an engineer until they see me try to talk to women. I get it. I know what I look like. If I had a nickel for every time someone has called me handsome, they would all be from my mom. That's why I'm done asking girls for phone numbers, because they always give me the wrong one. I call and all I hear is 911. What's your emergency? Yeah, is Tracy there? Actually, my last girlfriend, she had a body like a back road. That's right. Very bumpy and poorly taken care of. I hope she's not watching this. But that's why I drove with my eyes closed. Yeah, I'll just make it short and sweet and get right into the comedians and the competition here. So thanks for bearing with me. Let's get the show on the road. Our first comedian has been a native New Yorker since he was 9 years old. He has an identical twin brother, and they both have cats. I'm trying to tell you guys all the important info for this. He has performed in many, many comedy festivals and has been on BravoTV.com. And you may have heard him on SiriusXM's Raw Dog Channel 99. Please welcome Ethan Feldman.
Hey, it's good to be here doing comedy into the void of cyberspace. So guys, I had a little bit of a weird experience recently. I had to go to the doctors to give them a semen sample, which was really weird. So backstory, my wife and I, we've been trying to have kids. She wasn't getting pregnant. She was saying it was my fault, like I was the problem. So I went to the doctor to make sure that I'm not, for lack of a better term, shooting blanks. And it all checked out. I could tell you guys virtually are all super worried about me. It was fine. Yeah, so I really got to rub that in my wife's face. I'm actually surprised it was fine, because when I was growing up, my brother used to punch me in the balls a lot. But it was a crazy experience. They put me in, I went to this doctor's office. They put me in like a room with a chair. There was a little coffee table. It had like Hustler magazines all fanned out really nicely. I tried to look at one, but I couldn't get the pages apart for some reason. I have no idea. The craziest thing to me, I wish I was making this up, was in the corner of the room was an old tube television. But it gets better than that. It had a VCR connected to it with a tape in there just playing porn. Like, I also work in tech. They're so behind the times. If I was running that place, I would just be like, use your phone? Go wild. I wanted to place like a good size sample. So I was in the room for probably like, I don't know, 5, 10, 15. Okay, it was 20 minutes. At one point, somebody knocked on the door and they were like, Mr. Feldman, is everything okay in there? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. You're messing up my flow. Okay, get out of here. And honestly, like, I didn't need to use any of that, pornography that they gave me, because I don't need pornography to masturbate to. No, for me as a straight man, the best pornography is saved in the cloud, and the cloud is my imagination. If you're on board with me, I'm going to come to some truth bombs here. For straight guys, when we masturbate, we just like to think about, I don't know, every girl we've ever met, ever. Straight guys are disgusting people, man. We have a spank bank that goes back for years. I'm talking years. Like, I still think about my third grade teacher sometimes, okay? I mean, I was homeschooled, but, Hi, Mom. I am just kidding, guys. My mom is not here. She's not watching. She's here. I was actually explaining this whole phenomenon, if you will, to my wife, and she was pretty grossed out. But then she got kind of curious. She was like, "Oh, so Ethan, you ever masturbate to me?" And I was like, "No, you're my wife. That's sick." Yeah, you go back into the rotation. I don't know if that's messed up. My wife likes that joke though. I couldn't believe it. She was like, "You really don't think about me?" And I was like, "No, if anything, I think about you to help me last longer." If you're offended by that joke, my wife like hates all of my material except for that joke, so I feel like it's okay to laugh at that. But it actually worked, guys. Not only did my wife get pregnant, but she gave birth. Yeah, I'm a father now. Thank you. Thanks. And my wife is putting her kids to bed now, and I'm doing virtual comedy. So clearly, I am the best father. I love having a kid, though. I'm excited because my wife is Chinese, and I am Jewish. Surprise! So I realized our kids are going to be 50% Chinese, 50% Jewish, and 100% the ultimate student. Or just cheap and whiny with a really tiny penis. Come on, it's self-deprecating, racist, and anti-Semitic all at the same time. I'm just kidding, it's a girl. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Ethan, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Ethan, it was great to talk to you, and I need to remember to send the old link out for the scorings. Link is out. Ethan, so we talked a little bit earlier, and you are a New York City guy, but you're in Florida right now, right?
I am, yeah. Actually, my wife and I went down here pre-pandemic, actually, and then things got bad and we just stayed there.
Yeah. How do you like the change of pace?
I don't mind it. I grew up in New York, so I like the hustle and bustle of the city, so it's been a little weird for me to get used to like suburban lifestyle. But I'm not really going anywhere. I work in San Francisco, and I just kind of work from home all the time, so I don't go out that often.
Yeah. So do you see a lot of people my age there on the beach or anything?
I'm in Central Florida, so
okay.
No beaches around here.
Oh, so you see a lot of stuff in Central Florida, don't you?
Oh yeah, I saw this huge Trump mural on the highway.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is? I was like in an alternate reality. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't want to say that Indiana is as bad as Florida, but we've got a few of those going on in my neighborhood too. So there you go.
Florida's probably is.
Well, Ethan, thank you so much for doing the show, and stick around because we got a lot of great comedy coming up. And I'm going to turn it right back over to Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, the show is hot. That's a great start. I'm just going to roll right into the second comedian of the night. The second comedian is a Washington, D.C. based comedian and an event planner. At the start of the pandemic, she started Distantly Social Trivia and has raised over $11,000 for small businesses and charities, assisting those impacted by the pandemic. You can find future shows at KacieHacket.com, and you can find her right here, right now. Get ready for Kacie Hacket.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I love shows like this. They are really vital in this time of pandemic, mainly because they help me remember what day it is. I don't think I'd know what day it was at all without these shows. But we've got one tonight, so I know that tonight is Monday, September 14th. And that means it's been over 6 months, guys. Over 6 months since I had to split the check at a restaurant with 10 friends. It's been a good 6 months, I'm not gonna lie. My friends really want to get together now. I don't know if I feel comfortable seeing people in person yet. I don't know if I'm ready, because right now I like them. And I just think, that's just going to completely be ruined once we all get together again. I'm trying to figure out what to wear because apparently you can't wear the same yoga pants that you've been wearing for the past 6 months out in public anymore. So I went into my closet. Have you guys been in one of those? I could walk into the Hunger Games wardrobe trailer and that shit would look more logical than what I have in my closet. I mean, got backlit shirts, glitter pants, bras. 2019 was a weird time, guys. I just don't know what we were thinking. And the weirdest thing way back in the closet is the romper. I don't know why I did it. You know, take an ugly shirt, sew some ugly shorts to it, call it fashion. You all wore it. But I know why women wear those, because we are multitaskers. We saw an opportunity for a garment and a 5-minute ab workout, and damn it, we took it. Having a great time, you know, back in the before times, maybe now out in a field. Having a great time, and suddenly you need to pee. And this is where our workout begins, ladies, now, doesn't it? Now, we all know the start to any good workout begins with stretching, which you're going to do a lot of, trying to get this Chinese finger trap all the way off. You stretch every muscle. It's great. But here's the real key. You need to elevate that left ankle and keep it elevated the whole time, because your entire outfit is now balanced on that left ankle. And the floor may not be lava, but it definitely has gonorrhea. Then we're going to go into our workout here. We're going to squat, really engage that core, because you don't want to use any assistance here. The walls, they're both simultaneously wet and sticky at the same time. Isn't that fun? All right, and release. Did you feel that burn? If it's not in your abs, you probably want to see a doctor about that. Sounds like you might have touched the floor at some point. I love, one of the reasons I wear my romper, though, I'm not going to lie, I love anything that, I just feel sexier in anything that I got for a really good price, even if it looks terrible. And I also love the opportunity to tell everyone about the amazing price that I got it at. It's almost as good as having pockets, almost. So I'm going to tell you guys how to get this great deal. My secret to online shopping these days. When you're on the online checkout screen, you've got that promo code box. Here's what you do. You got to enter murder, cereal, blood, killer. Just pretend you're playing a Dateline word search. And so you're going to hit some chick's podcast eventually, and you're going to get 30% off. No matter what you do. I don't even listen to those podcasts, I'll be honest. I tried really hard. And there was one, this woman was like my age, and she was missing. So the cops were going around her apartment looking for clues. And they go and look at her sink. They look and they see 4 wine glasses, and they say, well, we know she had company before she went missing. There's 4 wine glasses. Like, I don't want to tell the cops how to do their job. But next they're going to look at that box of like a 12-pack of ice cream sandwiches and tell me I ate that in 12 days. I mean, there's some critical clues here. If there's 4 wine glasses in my sink, it means I'm missing on Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thank you. I've been Kacie Hacket. Oh, Scott, I think you're on mute.
Scott is muted.
Kacie, thank you for doing the show. I appreciate it. I told you I was going to mute myself. Tell me a little bit more about this fundraising that you're doing through the trivia.
Sure. I host live trivia every Thursday night, primarily team-based, but other people play solo. And it started as something to do, but now people are kind of forming super teams with the smartest people they know across the country, because you don't just need to play with the people that live in your area anymore. So it lasts a little over an hour and people have a good time. We play some trivia, and the prizes to the winners of the teams are all small business gift cards of their choosing. So we are able to support everyone who's playing local community. And then we have some select charities we donate the rest of the proceeds to.
Oh, that's really cool. I have played a little bit of online trivia with my wife, and we just played one the other day, and there was probably, I think there was several hundred people on this trivia, and we did probably the worst of anybody. So I tried to get my kids to play with us, and both of them were busy. So I knew like 2 questions, and that was it. And then I second guessed my wife on 2 questions, and it turned out I was wrong. So there is an airport called Mozart. So just FYI.
Maybe
well, thanks so much for being on the show, Kacie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Yeah, what's up? Good. How are you doing?
All right.
Still here. Yeah, I liked your topic about clothing during the pandemic because, I mean, as evidenced by my Saved by the Bell pajama shirt I'm wearing for a show, times have changed. I especially don't like the time of year coming up. Like, it's starting to get colder, which we aren't even through fall, but I'm just so afraid of winter that I don't like the way this is heading. The winters last forever. I don't know if that's changed since when I was little, but like now it seems like they last so long. Like, can we speed up this global warming process, please? Like, specifically in the Midwest region. Like, now it's like April in Indiana and it's still like 20 degrees and snowing outside. Now every year in spring, I look at my shorts in my closet like I'm looking at my ex's Facebook page. Just like, I didn't appreciate you when I had you. I was so foolish and sweaty. Okay, now that I've embarrassed myself enough, let's roll into the next comedian. All right, so this comedian is a new comic from Glasgow, Scotland. He started comedy when the lockdown started, so you know that he's a bold comedian. And he says if his jokes are as funny as his hairline, then he thinks he's doing okay. From overseas, here it's Chris Wright.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Please, you can keep going if you want. Please, I was enjoying that there. Thank you. As you heard, I just started doing comedy seriously at the start of lockdown. My only dream at the moment is that my jokes can be as tight as my jeans. Now, I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories, but I absolutely do not believe that COVID came from China. Because if you think about it, nothing that was ever made in China has lasted this long. Except the wall. That's lasted pretty well. People also say that this deadly pandemic started because people were eating bats. But surely if that was the case, Catwoman would have died like 20 years ago. There was actually a pupil from my local Catholic school that recently tested positive for COVID. Now, I've got a theory as to why that happened. I think it's because in Catholicism, they don't believe in wearing protection. Care workers have had a really difficult time as well during this whole pandemic. I actually worked as a carer for about 8 years, and I learned so much when I was doing that job. Like, I learned some sign language so I could always tell when the residents were swearing at me. When I was doing the medication, I learned the difference between the proper dose and the happy dose. And there was even one time that I had to help an elderly resident with euthanasia. Now, I should clarify, I don't mean assisted suicide. He just really liked anime porn. Now, I stopped working as a carer once my son was born, and I love him to bits. And he's recently just turned 2, you know, like too late to pull out. But I really do love my son more than anything, but sometimes I really miss the days when my little bundle of joy was just my collection of sex toys. I mean, that probably explains why we named him Butt Plug. I'm joking. His name is actually Kai, but we spell it K-Y. Ever since my son was born, I've been trying my best to be as healthy as possible. And one thing I've been doing is cutting down my sugar intake. At the moment, I've cut it down to about a spoonful of sugar a day. But it's really affected my moods. Like, one day I'm supercalifragilistic, the next day I'm atrocious. My girlfriend and I have been together for 4 years, and one of the things that I love about her is that she's a very strong, independent woman, and she loves facing up to her problems. I think that's why she insists on the missionary position. One of the things we like doing is we like giving each other's body parts, cute little nicknames. Like, I call her breasts the Olsen twins, and she calls mine disgusting. But my girlfriend and I, we really don't like bringing up older arguments because it really starts getting past tense. We have a really loving and affectionate relationship. Like, I always like to compare her orgasms to like a really good steak, bloody rare. But every now and again, she does tell me, "Well done." My doctor called me in recently, and he said to me that if I don't start losing weight, we'll need to look into getting a gastric band. So I genuinely took that very seriously, and I bought tickets to go and see Meatloaf. I actually need to go and see my optician as well, because apparently I need glasses. But some of you guys will know glasses can be very expensive, so I grudge paying for them. I know that's pretty short-sighted of me. I once believed that I was in a long-distance relationship for about 4 months, and then I realised I was wearing the wrong contact lenses. But guys, recently I managed to achieve one of my lifelong dreams. Like, ever since I was a young boy, I've always dreamed of owning a race car. So I spray painted the Black Lives Matter logo on the side of my Prius. I think that's my time up, guys. So if you excuse me, I'm going to check my little bundle of joy. So.
Oh man, Chris. That was good stuff. Hey, first off, I want to really compliment you. You started doing comedy during this whole pandemic, right?
Yeah, I've never done a live show.
Yeah, and I mean, we know each other. We've been talking back and forth and stuff like that. I just got to say your writing is spot on, and I think you're going to be really big someday. You're going to be the next great comic from Glasgow.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
So tell me, I'm in Indiana right now, and the weather's in the 70s, and it's kind of nice. What's the weather like in Glasgow right now?
It's kind of been raining quite heavily the last few days, but that's when Scottish people are happy. Like, if it's too warm, we complain. If it's too cold, we still complain. So either way, it's kind of like a happy medium at the moment. Anything above 10 degrees is like summer for us, so it's pretty good.
So if I continue being nice to you, will you send me scotch, like from the distillery?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'm just talking send me, not like I pay you and then you send. It's just send.
Well, Scottish folks are quite tight with money, so I'm not too sure about that. But we can come to some sort of arrangement.
Well, I know how to use the block button on Facebook, buddy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'll get it for you. No problem.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Thanks so much, Chris. You did a great job, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for putting on.
Yes, absolutely. That was so great.
Hey,
yeah,
Michael.
You can't even tell that. Hey, how you doing? That was so amazing to watch. You can't even tell that he started during the pandemic. Like, that's crazy. It's a crazy time to start, and that's a crazy time to get that good. And you can tell that he's from Scotland, though. I appreciated the accent, even though I don't really know where that is on a map. I'm terrible at geography. Like, I knew I was terrible at geography because I always think it has to do with shapes, which, like, it's no. Geography has nothing to do with the Pythagorean theorem. No. That one is geology, okay, guys? That's but I'm not joking when I say this. I used to think that England and Great Britain were two different countries And then my friend told me that they're just one country, and I was like, oh, they worked it out. That is great news. How wonderful. I think they're good role models for Dakota and Carolina, really. And by the way, Chris, that was an American geography bit you might not have understood, but I'm rolling to the next comedian. I'm a roll to the next comedian now. So our fourth comedian tonight is a stand-up comic based in Baltimore and has appeared on ABC's Baltimore Loves Talent. When he is not spending time with his wife and son, he is usually on stage telling hilarious stories about them, but inevitably ends up making fun of himself more than anyone else. Prepare yourself for the comedic stylings of Erin Patrick.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin Patrick, self-proclaimed Silly Billy. I say self-proclaimed because I've been trying to get my wife to use that term, but she just says, nah. Huh. So, don't get me wrong. My wife, she's a nice, sweet lady. In fact, she's always thinking of me. Like the other day, I was cleaning out the drain in the house, and I was like, hey, why don't you ever clean your hair out of the drain, right? And she just said, I figured you could use some. I do love her. I love her. I love being married. I'd do anything for my wife, really. I would die for her. I would kill for her. And I would never walk in on her in the bathroom. 12 years later, not crossing that threshold. But I'm going to say, her and I, we want to say wavelength, that's it. And because she never walks in on me either, which is nice because where else am I going to catch up on the news, check social media, hide from my family? You guys get it. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, into the bathroom, I will say my least part of this pandemic is the fact that my wife now knows how often I go to the bathroom during the day. I won't tell you how many times it is. I can't put a number on it, but I can put 3 letters, and those are IBS. Boom. I am currently being tested for. Yes, thank you to my wife. But she's always, like I said, she's always thinking of me. I'm always in her thoughts, and we've been married for 12 years, and we still have these cute little nicknames for each other. Things like Babe or Snuggle Bear or Alibi. It's important. Like, if you're out with your friends, you're having a good time, you start getting a little mischievous, you got to have somebody to hold your back, right? Like if somebody goes, who ate the last pizza? Or who clogged the toilet? Or who peed on these dang bushes, right? You have to have somebody that's got your back and can come up with a good story on the spot. And honestly, I'm going to start coming up with some better stories. Otherwise, people are going to know what my wife is really like on the weekend. So, and I don't think she wants people knowing all about that stuff, especially the bushes. But anyway, if you can't tell, along with being married, if you can't tell from this shirt, my demeanor, or my hairline, I'm also a dad, which is nice. I love being a dad. When you get to be a dad, you get to say fun things like, if you lick the floor again, and if you were wondering what the rest of that sentence is, it doesn't matter because I've said it 4 times this week. And let me check. Yep, it's Monday. Having a 3-year-old. Boom. Okay. So I will say, along with having a 3-year-old and being a dad, my favorite part actually being a dad is this obligation to tell at least one dad joke a day. So I got to meet my obligation. I got to hit my quota today. So bear with me. You guys can help me out here. Why is it so hard to keep a stick of butter down? Because butterflies. Boom! Oh, man, hit them. I can't believe that didn't do butter. Boom! Got him again! Whoa! Sorry, I lied. My quota is actually 3, so let's keep this going. I wonder how long after the Titanic sank it took iceberg lettuce to bounce back. I don't know. That one's tough. This is important, especially when you get back on stage. I always forget this. They say that when you're choking, it's important that someone should use the Heimlich maneuver to help you. I just wish people would wait till I got off stage. That would be great. But I will finish up here. I'm going to take things back to my wife because she hates my dad jokes. I've been writing a lot of them, if you can't tell, and it hasn't been helping me in the bedroom too much. So I went to a buddy of mine and asked for some advice. And I said, what can I do to, pick things up? And he said, here's what you do. You take your phone, wait till your lady goes to the grocery store, text her some lyrics from 90s R&B music, right? Let her know what's up, what to expect when she gets home. Think you know what I'm talking about. Sexual intercourse. Anyway, so, and I texted her the following lyrics. I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight all through the night, right? Boys to Men. I'll make love to you. Sexiest song of all time. Who could say no to that? Well, this is the reply I got. I'm in line at the grocery store, and the woman in front of me has 32 items in her cart, and it's the 12 items or less line. We'll talk about this later. If anybody has any advice in the chat, I'd love to hear it. I think that's my time. I'm Erin Patrick. Billy, extraordinaire.
Nice set, Erin. Nice set.
Danke. Thank you.
So, Erin, you have a master's degree. Can you tell me what that master's degree is in?
Library Media Services.
Yes.
Yes.
Library Media Services. So that's librarianism, right? Yeah.
I literally took a graduate course on the Dewey Decimal System. So, 636 about dogs. 794 U.S. history. Like, I used to be able to get almost all of them, but.
So I take you into a library and I want to find a book on making a birdhouse. You're going to find it like right now, right?
424.
Holy crap. How about the Hardy Boys books? Where do I find those?
That is going to be in the fiction section. Unless your library is separated by junior fiction and adult fiction, young adult fiction. It just depends. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Sorry,
I have to say, you're a relatively recent comic. How does your wife feel about you doing comedy, and has she come to see you?
Babe, how do you feel about me doing comedy? She said it's great, but she had her headphones listening to Key and Peele the whole time. So
okay. Well, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for doing it, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
That was amazing. Yes, I'm a huge fan of dad jokes, so I'm glad I got to hear some tonight. So for our next comedian, this next comedian made a big decision because being a social worker, a teacher, a singer, and a mom wasn't enough. They decided to add comedian onto that. This summer, she produced the Funny Women Wednesdays shows for DC comedians and appeared on the Headspace and the Timing comedy Zoom shows. She can be found playing hide and seek if you look hard enough, but here she is out of hiding. Carmiya.
Thank you. People are always messing up my name because Carmiya isn't a name. It's actually a lead-in to the question, what? This is followed by other questions, and the answers to those are Carmiya. Carmiya. According to traditional Judaism, men are turned on by a woman's hair, so married women have to cover it. This thinning, frizzy, greasy mom hair is an aphrodisiac of biblical proportions. If it weren't for my scarf, I'd be fighting off suitors with a burp cloth. I have a different scarf for every occasion. I have my hiking scarf and my workout scarf and my shopping for more scarves scarf. When I flirt with a mailman, I wear my push-up scarf. It's a little extra. My husband's tattoo is my love potion. It's of a vine with leaves, and it's wrapped around his man hunk swole bicep. His tattoo has a power over me that defies my diaphragm. This explains our 4th kid. My push-up scarf explains our 5th. If any of you have a tattoo, do not show it to me. I wonder if his tattoo isn't our problem so much as my birth control. The diaphragm is only 80% spellable. I can remember to put the G in. If I could remember to put the G in, I'd remember to put the whole damn thing in. The husband has turned out to be a great dad. Before COVID, he volunteered to bring our children to Take Your Kids to Work Day, even though he was unemployed. They sat on the couch for hours and looked at ziprecruiter.com. Who wants to help daddy? Click apply now. 3 offers came in for my 6-year-old, but my husband's still with me. There's a song by Harry Styles out now on the radio, and the lyrics go, "Just let me adore you. It's the only thing I'll ever do." The only thing? I could use some help with the dishes. Seriously, stop adoring me and scrub that pot. Are 5 kids not enough for you? Cover up that tattoo. That's not fair. My family has had a lot of medical issues. All told, my children have had epilepsy, eczema, asthma, cradle calf, warts, Lyme disease, pet allergies, food allergies, a broken arm, bedwetting, pneumonia, ADHD, inner ear surgery, and strep of the blood. Say that 3 times fast. I try to be really organized to manage all of our kids' medical appointments, but not everybody appreciates that. My middle schooler requested I no longer write out our family's daily schedule because she wants more spontaneity. When she told me that, I had a really rude thought. It's a good thing she's the one with the epilepsy because nothing says surprise like seizures. If you're not laughing at that terrible, really insulting joke, it's okay. I have 5 kids at home. I do stand up because I love silence. My parents are divorced and I should have seen it coming. Her car's bumper sticker said, "Plant kindness wherever you go." And his card said, "If you don't like football, go fuck yourself." I think my marriage is strong enough to tolerate the next joke. For as long as I've been a parent, I've needed to have quiet sex. There are some things in the heat of the moment that just don't work well in a whisper. Slap my ass. Did you say something? No, forget it. You want me to stop? No, keep going. Just forget the slapping part. And nothing feels the mood like getting hit in the face. Well, guys, that's my time. Why don't we all say my name? Carmiya. Good job. Thank you.
All right. That was great. Carmiya, I know you have children. How are you able to be in a quiet room right now? It's only 8:45.
I have a really good husband.
Okay. I thought maybe you like tied him up or something.
No, that's only after 10.
So I gotta totally go with you on the sex thing when you have kids, because all of our rooms were on the top floor and very close to each other, and it was always like, "Stop it! Shh! Stop it! Shh! This is totally messing up the mood. Shh."
I did live in New York City for a bunch of years, and I think neighbors also. So, like, even if you don't have kids, it's relatable because of other humans.
Yeah, I do have to say, when they leave the house and we're empty nesters, we just go wild now. It's nuts. It's something
to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, we worry a little bit about the neighbors, but not so much. Because I think we're getting more than they are, and they're a lot younger, so that's cool. You like that, Mike?
Yes and no.
I know it's a visual thing. Just don't visualize it. Just listen.
Ethan and I are adding this to our spank bank.
Within the cloud.
All right, Mike, I'm bringing you back up.
Hello, everybody. Due to hearing Scott talk about his sex life, I'm going to get this over quickly so I can get off camera and resume the fetal position. So for our next comedian, as a card-carrying member of the AARP, this comedian, also known as the lovable curmudgeon, has pretty much seen it all, done it all, and cannot remember most of it. In 2016, he won second place in Golden Artists Entertainment's funniest up-and-coming comic competition, which is in Los Angeles. He has performed at comedy venues all throughout the country and also major comedy festivals such as the World Series of Comedy and the Burbank Comedy Festival. Please give it up for the co-host of Comedy KLIQ Internet Show, Joel Brill.
All right. Somebody asked me if I was prepared for the show tonight, and I said, of course. I'm always prepared. I was a Boy Scout. Our motto was be prepared. Be prepared and don't touch me there. So I recently bought new shoes, and the soles have memory foam in them. They're not very comfortable, but at least now I always know why I walked into the room. I'm not wearing them tonight because I forgot where I put them. What was I talking about? Here's something that keeps me up thinking at night. If a death row inmate orders Chinese food as his last meal, would it be cruel to include a fortune cookie? I would mess with the guy personally. I'd give him a cookie with no fortune in it. or a fortune with tomorrow's winning lottery numbers. Or better yet, a fortune that reads, "We're breaking out tomorrow morning, meet you in the courtyard." The good news for this guy is with Chinese food as his last meal, he won't be hungry an hour later. So I got a call from my mother. She's 90 years old, and she called to tell me about her latest romantic conquest. Whenever I talk to Mom, she always has a new guy in her life. She said this one was going great, and all of a sudden, he stopped calling or texting. I said, "Yeah, Mom, that's the true meaning of ghosting." I said, "Where do you meet all these guys?" She said, "Well, there's a website for people my age. It's called carbondating.com. And if you didn't get that joke, let me just tell you this. My son gets that joke, and he's an idiot. Here's a little known fact. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a classically trained pianist. When he was a boy, his class was having a piano recital, and the teacher said they should all dress up as their favorite composer. One little boy said, "Oh, I want to be Mozart." The little girl said, I want to be Chopin. And Arnold goes, "I'll be Bach." Okay, you may groan, but after the show, I know you'll be tweeting that one. I recently performed for a fundraiser for my favorite charity. That's the Tempura House. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tempura House is a shelter for lightly battered women.
Oh,
no. A friend asked me if I would like to perform at his gay comedy club. And I said, "Sure." Wait, what do you mean by perform? I'm not falling for that again. Here's the thing. I don't care what your sexual preferences are. I really don't care. But when I was at the club, all people were talking about is same-sex marriage. Isn't same-sex marriage great? Isn't same-sex marriage wonderful? And I looked at this last guy and go, no, I think it's wrong. My wife and I have had the same sex for 45 years. Speaking of my wife, who I lovingly refer to as my little dream killer, she wanted me to see a therapist. She goes, "You're always acting angry." I said, "I'm not acting." And my therapist is really expensive because she like the airlines, she charges me for my extra baggage. And, last time I was there, about halfway through, she's like really frustrated. And she's like, God, okay, let's try something different. Let's play a fantasy game. You could do it over. Would you marry your wife again? I said, no. She said, well, what if that meant you wouldn't have the same kids you have today? And I was like, oh, this game just keeps getting better and better. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joel Brill. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Thank you, Joel. Guys, did I send out Joel's sheet? Okay.
Not yet.
I was mesmerized by his set. Sorry about that. And Joel, and create a link, and shorten URL, copy, private chat.
We're getting the whole process here. I'm gonna run a show next week.
When you're my age, you have to talk it through. Joel, I gotta say, this whole same sex, with sex being the same for so long, I got to give you some feedback, because I'm an older gentleman too, and my wife and I do try new things. However, we have to whiteboard it because we're both a little broken down. So we put it up there and we're like, honey, I know your knee is kind of messed up there and my back's kind of rough. If you lean like 30 degrees that way and I go 20 degrees that way, this is going to be fantastic. We're going to have a good time. The safe word is still stop it. So Joel, what's it like doing comedy with all these young kids?
Just one quick side about my wife. She was complaining our love life was too mechanical, and I said, "You're the one that wanted me to wear a tool belt." It's a challenge. It is a challenge. I have to call my kids, who are in their 30s, and ask them, "Do you know what this means?" Because I'll say things. I do a whole routine about. It's a takeoff on Abbott and Costello's "Who's on First?" And, I do it for people in their 20s and 30s. They have no idea what I'm talking about. And so, by the way, go to YouTube and type in "Who's on First?" if you don't know.
Abbott and Costello, folks. Abbott and Costello.
Who's on first? So it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Third base.
Hey, we're doing really good on time here. I'm gonna bring myself up for a second. Hey, this contest is sponsored by Behind the Bits podcast, and the Behind the Bits podcast is something I started where I could learn about comedy and you guys learn with me. So I talk about the Kacie just asked me if I was a MC. So no, I wasn't, Kacie. But or maybe that was Joel you were asking. Sorry. Anyway, the Behind the Bits podcast I call a serious talk about stand-up comedy, and I've talked to people like Tom Dreesen, Ian Bagg, Michael Palisak, and a lot of great working comics. It's a labor of love for me. If you are into comedy, you want to learn about comedy, you're a comedy nerd, just type Behind the Bits into any podcast app and you can give it a listen. I would appreciate, if you do like it, that you give me a review on whatever platform you are listening on, and that's what this is all about. I do this. I do the Thursday night talk show, which is a BTB internet talk show, which is just a lot of fun. All I do is invite friends to come on, friends and people I don't even know to come on, and we talk and we have fun. And Dean Martin comes out and asks a few questions. If you don't know, that's Dean Martin behind me. How do you do mirror? Here we go. Dean Martin right behind me, and we just have a lot of fun. So watch the Behind the Bits Facebook page for all the stuff that's coming up, and watch our YouTube channel too, because it's all there as well. And I'm going to turn it right back over to you, Michael.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm a big fan of how you guys keep setting up Scott to talk about his sex life. Let's keep that going. And also, yeah, I'm a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm not going to tweet that joke. I think I'm going to tweet out the tempura joke. That was crazy. All right, so we're now to our last comedian. So this last comedian here is a New York City-based comedian, and he is a high-energy goofball with a lot to say. He was deemed the mouth by his childhood friends, and he hasn't stopped making people laugh since. I had a similar nickname when I was a kid, actually. During the summer of 2018, he traveled to Europe to perform in London and Paris. His credits also include ESPN, SiriusXM, the 2018 New York Comedy Festival, and was chosen as one of Caroline's breakout artists in 2019. So for the big finish, here is Ralph Anthony.
Thank you so much. Wow, and an intro like that, you would think that I wrote it myself. Thank you so much. Guys, give it up for Mike for hosting. This has been a great show. As he said, I am from New York City. We used to be the Corona capital of the world. And the funniest thing about that is I've been here the entire time. I've been here the whole 6 months. When you live in New York City throughout this entire lockdown, it feels like you're in an escape room with 8 million other people. So like, where can I get out? Where's the room? How can I get out of here? It's been nuts. It's been nuts. My favorite part of this whole COVID experience has been the mask situation. I don't know how it's still September and people are still flipping out about masks. Like, why? Can we just give it a rest? Listen, this has been a problem since COVID first hit. When COVID first hit and everybody got locked down, they said, listen, the government said, listen, you can't go outside. You go outside, you will die. You will die if you go outside. You need a mask. Better yet, you need an N95 mask. 2 weeks later, they said, hey, guess what? We got no masks. We got no mask. We got no mask here. There's none in China. There's none in Amazon and Jeff Bezos. No one has a mask. But we got you covered. You got you covered, my friend. Why don't you go in that closet, grab that old ratty T-shirt? Yeah, that old ratty one that you wear when you don't feel good. You're gonna grab a pair of scissors. You're gonna cut those sleeves right off. You heard us correctly. You're gonna cut those sleeves right off. Don't stop there. Go down to your local craft store, get some googly eyes, get some really amp up this sleeve because this sleeve is now your new mask. What? And what warped world do we live in where saving your life is now a DIY project? Like, should probably tell you guys too that I'm sober. I'm a sober comic, but I am not sober. I am comedian sober. So that means I still drink and smoke weed. I just don't do coke anymore. Mostly for the comics that are in the room. I had to stop doing it because I deviated my own septum. Yes, that's right. For all out there, you can do that. I watched my septum shoot right out of my nose like a out of a gun. Just woo, there it goes. And I know it was turned into the elevator scene from The Shining. Like, clean up aisle 5. I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? But if I had to choose anything, I guess I would say that I'm more of a weed guy. I grew up in a very pro-weed household, and at 16 years old, my father told me that he'd rather see me with a joint in my hand than a beer. So it blows my mind, like, here we are, it's 2020, and with all the research that's out there and all the knowledge, people are still against smoking pot. They say crazy things, ridiculous things like weed is a gateway drug. Smoking weed leads to harder drugs. What? That's nonsense, because saying that smoking weed leads to harder drugs is like saying making out leads to anal. I mean, let's be honest. If anything, smoking weed leads to diabetes, right? No one's getting high and doing laps around the salad bar at Whole Foods. No, not at all. No. We're trying to stuff a Twix in the Twinkie and then roll it in jelly beans, you know? That's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to go on that flavorful adventure. I love drugs, man. I love all kinds of drugs. I'm an equal opportunity drug user. But it's hard to have sex on drugs. Very hard to have sex on drugs. When I smoke weed and try to have sex, I get hungry. When I do coke and try to have sex, I can't get it up. But the hardest drug to have sex on is mushrooms, because when I eat mushrooms and try to have sex, my dick keeps floating away. I don't like people. No, I don't like people. Do you? No, people are fucking terrible, man. We are the worst. We're the worst. But when you're a white guy in Trump's America on a StreamYard comedy show telling people that you don't like other people, everyone gets a little concerned. But it's not big groups of people. It's small groups of people. It's pockets of people. It's people you come across every single day. People that just grate on your fucking nerves, man. People that I like to call annoying assholes, or AA for short. I don't like people. I don't like. I was waiting for that noise. I don't like girls that sext and have poor spelling. I don't like girls that sext and have poor spelling. Like, in this day and age of Siri and autocorrect, you can't take 5 more seconds to figure out what you're trying to tell me. Here we're having this hot, spicy, sexy moment, and then you throw out, you want to suck on my dock? Are we going fucking sailing, lady? Oh, you can't wait to get me home so I can come on your tots? What? I'm bringing food to bed? Listen, I'm all for bringing food to bed, but I don't think tater tots are that sexy. But I'm a weirdo, and I got to follow up and ask her, does she want them heated up or frozen, because of 2 entirely different fetishes. Thank you guys so much. You've been awesome. Give it up one more time for your host.
All right, Ralph, thank you so much. I got to talk a little bit about the weed, the marijuana, the dope, or whatever you want to call it. I stopped smoking it back when I was 18, and that was before you were born. So I got to say, you guys have a lot more choices than I had. I mean, you guys have menus, you have hybrids, you've got, I mean, you can ingest it, you can eat it, you can get a patch, you can put it up your butt. I mean, there's so many ways to get your weed. And when I was a lad, we had 2 varieties of marijuana. It was mostly seeds and mostly stems. Yeah. And both of them gave you a headache.
Yeah, my father used to tell me that. He got the Cheech and Chong Big Bamboo album, and used to roll up. They had a big giant rolling paper that came out of the record. Kids, a record is like a big CD that you listen to. Kids, a big CD is like something before streaming music.
I was about to say, what's a CD?
Right? Look at the librarian even has one. That's awesome.
Well, the thing is all the kids are getting back into the LPs now. They like the albums, they're listening to them, and then I see people my age getting into the albums, and there's absolutely no reason, because whatever you gain in sound quality from the album, you've lost in your hearing loss. So there's no reason to even go that way. Just listen to Spotify and be done with it.
Well, that's why they need the weed.
Yeah.
Weed is a performance-enhancing drug when you are deaf.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to riff a little bit so I can get these scores together, okay? Talk to people.
All right. We can riff a little bit. We're going to stay on this screen so we can talk to everybody. So just for the audience members, we got a little DMing here about Ralph's tattoos.
So, thanks for airing it out, Mike. Appreciate it. Wow, nice.
we got a little sideshow going on here. I'll stop talking about that since I forgot that those are private messages. But
I am covered in tattoos. You just can't
that's amazing.
Yeah. Even the librarian's got a tattoo. Look at that pink Floyd thing.
Sorry, I was just yawning. Yeah.
That was not a natural.
Is that going to go on Ethan's cloud as well as mine?
This is going to be the best baby making.
I have a Saved by the Bell tattoo, so no.
No, you don't. Yeah, welcome to the late show, everybody.
Over here.
I'm almost there. Just keep riffing. Keep riffing.
Right. That's great. We got a room full of riffers, so that's great.
My grandson was on FaceTime, and I had to say hi and bye to him.
Yeah, I heard you say you love somebody. I wasn't sure who was off camera.
That's you. That's you, Michael.
My grandfather would do
that. Because of my tattoos.
We should have gotten the narration. Oh, grandson's on. Now I will say hi to him. Now I will tell everyone what I was doing.
Yeah.
This is very professional. This is a very professional production.
I believe, yeah. If I mention any more private chats, I'm not going to get asked to come back to this show. I believe Scott is doing math right now. I don't know if that's his forte or not, but
some geology.
Yeah, right. It's like a squared plus b squared equals the winner of the night.
That's fantastic. I actually didn't know that you said math. I can only hear out of one ear right now, and I thought you said meth, and I was like, wow, that's a weird way to be doing math.
No, he's a clean. He's a clean comedian.
Repository. That's what it is.
No,
Hey, true story. I went into a private Zoom room to talk with other comics, and there was a guy there smoking crack during the whole thing. You were there, right, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite an experience.
And he's doing it in a way that I'm not used to. I mean, he had the torch, the big torch like everybody uses, but he had this spark plug looking thing that I haven't seen before. So, comedy's great. Don't do hard drugs, kids. Keep it with the marijuana. Jeez.
Just saying.
So I have carefully tabulated the votes, and we do have 2 winners. I don't have a drum roll. I've got that.
Give us.
we all do.
2 dings. Time for dinner.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, that's
nice. Bring it full circle.
All back.
All right, that's what I got. I got crickets. So we have 2 winners. As everybody knows who is watching and who is part of this, everybody did a little score sheet on themselves, and the winners for tonight is Carmiya and Chris Wright. Chris Wright and Carmiya are going on to the final round.
Great job, guys.
It was a very, very close score. Everybody did well. I am so glad that we did this show. It was a lot of fun, even though my math isn't as good as it used to be, and I have to use spreadsheets and stuff, but it's okay. I know how to do formulas, so that's cool. Thank you all for being part of the show. We only went 10 minutes over what I thought it was going to be, so that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's good.
That's not bad.
I like that.
As we are leaving, I want to give everybody a chance to plug anything they've got going on. Mike Banks, you got anything going on online besides that Mike Banks podcast?
Yeah, the podcast, The Mike Banks Show. You can find me at Instagram at Hey, it's Mike Banks. And just keep in touch with the Market Lounge and Comedy Club in Northwest Indiana. It's located in Valparaiso, Indiana. And yeah, you guys can find me on Facebook as well, just Michael Banks. So thanks for having me again, and I appreciate all you guys.
Thanks for hosting, Mike.
No problem.
That's not his real name, by the way, so I don't feel bad about calling him Mike. Joel, what you got going on, bud?
Got all kinds of Zoom shows throughout the rest of the month. Excuse me, and actually into October. So just check me out on Facebook or Twitter. It's where I do all my posting. I have a MySpace page where I keep everything up to date.
Excellent. Gotta love the MySpace. Hey, Ethan, where can we find you? What you got going on?
I'm doing some virtual stuff, and you can just find me on my website, which is my name, ethanfeldman.me. .com was taken, so I had to settle for a different. But yeah, and I'm trying to get back into live comedy. There's a comedy club in Winter Haven, Florida, opening up next month, so I'm trying to get a spot there. Hopefully, it's called Laugh Out Lounge, Winter Haven. So hopefully, I can get a real set in soon.
Excellent. I wish you luck on that. Carmiya, where can we find you? What are you doing besides playing hide and seek?
Shows here and there. You can follow me on Facebook at Carmiya's Inner Monologue. My phone is too old to have Instagram, so I'm not there yet. But tonight I have bedtime going on.
All right. We had a lot of people watching. We had a lot of comments that I kind of went over. And all right, we got a lot of comments. Chris Wright, where can we find you? What are you doing besides hanging out in Scotland?
On Facebook and Twitter, my Twitter handle is at Writer20, and I'm currently writing for an animated show as well called Not From Earth, which premieres on YouTube 15th of October, so hopefully that goes well.
Holy cow. Don't forget to send me links to that so I can promote it, okay, bud?
Yeah, no worries, will do.
Okay. Ralph, what's going on, bud?
I'm at Flappers Comedy Club in LA on the, I think, 7 o'clock show this coming Friday. I post all my dates on my website, ralphthemouth.com. And if you want to just stay up, check out some jokes, just some clips, follow me, Twitter and Instagram. My handle is the same for both. It is at ralphthemouth. At ralphthemouth81. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm a little high, so. Yeah.
Congratulations for that.
Put away the crack.
Repository. I'm waiting for it to kick in. That's how stop hating me for the show.
You get extra points for paying attention. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aaron, where can we find you, bud?
Just on Twitter, Instagram at Erin Patrick Comedy. The only thing, when all the pandemic started, I started doing writing, recording, and posting one joke a day under the hashtag New Day, New Joke. So I've been trying to keep that going. I started out as videos, memes, and Twitter posts and stuff. So just trying to throw as much out there as I can. So come follow me, and if you enjoy dad jokes, definitely.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. Hey, Kacie, tell me where we can find your trivia and all your other stuff.
Yeah, trivia and really everything is under one umbrella at CasieHacket.com or DistantlySocialTrivia.com. It's the same website with two different aliases. So if you can't remember how to spell my name, just type in Distantly Social Trivia. And you can play trivia on Thursdays or see the calendar for other Zoom shows coming up.
All right. Well, thank you so much all for being on the show.
Thank you.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I got everybody. Folks, I just want to tell you that Behind the Bits is on a little bit of a roll. For some reason, we've gotten really popular. Maybe it's because I'm working my ass off, or maybe it's because there's actually some good content there. So if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't checked out the podcast, type Behind the Bits in any of your podcast apps, or go to thebtbpc.com because everything else was taken. And just download some stuff, listen to it. If you're my friend, download all 38 episodes like 10 or 12 times on different internets, and that'll help me get up the charts and help me get some sponsors. Thank you all so much for being on the show. This has been a great show, and I'm going to go off